Good morning, everybody. We have one more video we're going to be doing from Unit 4, Objective 4. You've noticed I've adapted to make sure that my head is not all shiny in the video, so we'll get through this. But we have one more formula we wanted to add into this, and this is called graphing in vertex form. The vertex form, when we're looking at these, is a basic function that says that y is equal to a times x minus h squared plus k. Now, that form has your vertex embedded in it. Not only that, it's also got your axis of symmetry put into it. The vertex is going to be these points right here. Okay, it's going to be that h and that k. We'll talk about how to get that from there in a moment. And then this right here, that x minus h, that's actually going to be your axis of symmetry. So let's take a look at this first one here. Okay. When we look at this, you see this function here. You can see down here at this point, we've got a vertex down there, and it's a minimum because it's at the bottom. That point right there, when we look into this, is at left 3 and then down 8. So that point is at left 3, down 8. Now look at the similarities between this point that we just wrote and the coordinate that's actually listed up here. You'll see that there's something that happens. That negative 8 right there is the exact same value, but that 3 is the exact opposite value, okay? And that's our vertex. That's the information. That's all we need to pull from this stuff when we have the vertex form. So my vertex for this is at negative 3, negative 8. It's at the bottom, so it's a minimum. We talked previously about how that axis of symmetry is going to go right down the middle. It's going to share the exact same x value that we had in the problem, which is a negative 3. And so when we look at this, let's write that down there. We're going to have x is equal to negative 3. Your x-intercepts are the 2 points where it hits the x-axis, and that is going to be right here at negative 1 and at negative 5. So that's negative 5 and 0, and then negative 1 and 0. And then your y-intercept for this one, how do we find that? Well, if we remember, we're going to take our x that's in this problem, because all points along the y-axis here are going to have an x equal to 0. So we're going to take a 0 and put it into the original equation there, meaning we're going to change this x right here into a 0. If we make that into a 0, what we're going to have is y is equal to 2 times 0 plus 3 squared minus 8. So we have 2 times, this will be 3 squared minus 8, which is 2 times 27 minus 8, that's pretty big, which is going to equal 54 minus 8, which will be at 46. So we'll be at 0, 46. Okay, that's way up there. All right, let's make sure I didn't screw anything up there. 0 plus 3, that's 3. Oh, I cubed it. There's the mistake right there. I cubed it. So this is actually supposed to be a 2, not a 3 in the problem here, which is going to cause everything else to kind of change here. Sorry, that seemed a little off. So it'll be 2 times 9, which will be 17 minus 8, which will equal 9. So it's going to be at 0, 9. Okay? So using that, let's go ahead and try to speed on through a bunch of these. You'll see that they're pretty quick problems to do. Our vertex is right there at 1, 3. And again, we take the opposite of this value and keep that value. So taking those and putting those together, we're going to have a positive 1 and a positive 3. 1, 3. Okay? And let's write that down here. So we'll have a 1, 3. That is a maximum. Axis of symmetry should be the exact same x value that we had in that problem. That's that 1 that's right there. We get that x is equal to 1 here. The x-intercepts are going to be at negative 2, 0, and then 3, 0. And for my y-intercept, let's throw in a 0. So we're going to have a negative 1/3, 0 minus 1 squared plus 3. That means we're going to have negative 1/3 times negative 1 squared plus 3. That's going to be negative 1/3 times 1 plus 3. So this will be 3 minus 1/3, which will equal 2 and 2/3. Okay, so that's going to be 0, and then what is that, 6 8/3. Okay? So the y-intercept in this is actually probably the hardest part to actually try to get out of all the information. But let's continue on. These next ones we're asking, just practicing what's the vertex, what's the axis of symmetry. Okay? Remember the vertex for this, we're going to write it down here, is going to be at 4, negative 6. So again, opposite value, same value. Okay, opposite and then the same. We're going to get x is equal to, again, same values here. So this is going to be a 4. Okay. Next one, we're going to look at y equals negative x plus 2 squared. So again, opposite value, same value. That means we'll be at negative 2 and positive 3. Okay. So we're going to have negative 2 and positive 3. X equals negative 2. Okay. Last one is going to be 15 and 12. Opposite, same. And we get x is equal to 15. Okay. So now let's get down to where we're actually making some quick graphs here. Okay. The vertex is at negative 1, 8. Axis symmetry is x equals negative 1. The x-intercepts, we'll get to that in a second here, are going to be when we do negative 1, positive 8. So we'll go 2 down, negative 1, negative 2, and then 2, sorry, I just did those wrong. It'll be negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, and then we'll go 0, 1, 2, and again, we'll see the symmetry there. When we put in a positive 2 down on the bottom here, we'll have negative 2, and then 2 plus 1 squared plus 8 means that we're going to have negative 2 times 3 squared plus 8. That's going to equal negative 2 times 9 plus 8. So that's negative 18 plus 8, which is negative 10. Okay, so we're going to have a negative 10 here, and we'll have a negative 10 over here. Just set down. Here, I'll be right back. Sorry, I'm making a video right now.
Oh, gotcha.
Thanks, Mel. We'll see ya. All right, and then, sorry, welcome back. For the next one, we'll do a positive 1. So we're going to have negative 2 and then 1 plus 1 squared plus 8, which means we'll have negative 2 times 2 squared plus 8. So that's negative 2 times 4 plus 8, which is going to end up equaling a 0. We'll put in a 0 now. We'll have negative 2, 0 plus 1 squared plus 8 means we're going to have negative 2. And then 1 squared plus 8, which means we'll have negative 2 times 1 plus 8. So that's going to be a 6. Okay, and we've got all of our points. Our y-intercept we already found. It's actually inside of our table right here. It's at 0, 6 there. So let's just plot these points. 0, 6, that's our vertex. 1, 0. Negative 3, 0. So those are my x-intercepts. And then 1, 0. Negative 1, 8. Sorry, that's the vertex. I put that in the wrong spot. And then negative 4, negative 10. And then 2, negative 10. So these are all my points here to make this curve. Okay. There you go. Let's do another one here. We're going to do the opposite. Negative 4, same, positive 9, x equals negative 4. We got negative 4, negative 9. We're going to go 2 down. Actually, I'm going to go 3 down. And then 2 up. All right, and let's go ahead and put those in. So we're going to have negative 1 plus 4 squared minus 9. That's going to equal 3 squared, which is 9, minus 9, which is 0. Okay. Then we're going to have a negative 2 plus 4 squared minus 9, which is going to be 2 squared minus 9, which is 4 minus 5, or I'm sorry, 4 minus 9, which is negative 5. Negative 5. And then we're going to have negative 3 plus 4 squared minus 9, which will equal 1 squared minus 9, which will be negative 8. So negative 8 and negative 8. All right. Let's go and find the y-intercept. We'll have 0 plus 4 squared minus 9, which will equal 16 minus 9, or 7. So it'll be at 0, 7. Okay. And let's plot these points so we got our graph. We got negative 4, negative 9, negative 5, negative 8. Right there. And then we'll have symmetry over on the other side. So negative 3, negative 8. Negative 2, negative 5. Symmetry on the other side. And then negative 1, 0, and then -7, 0. And there's our symmetry. All right, just a nice little addition, nothing too crazy, but I think you guys can totally handle this, all right? You take care.